to a quick little tidbit on how to not blue screen as much or white screen as on PS5. I made 2 previous videos about this. I want to add on to that. So those 2 videos got lots of views, and I'm grateful for that. And a lot of people, it hasn't worked. It has worked for them. I'll have a discussion after I show you what exactly you need to change. I don't want to waste your time. So here's the first things first. And you go to, or where is it? You go to high detail. You turn that off. Okay. Now some people told me, oh, I don't see high detail. I have no idea why you don't see high detail. I know on the PS4 version, I don't see high detail on it anymore. But on the PS5 version, which I am on currently right now, high detail, you need to turn that bitch off. High detail makes the PS5 work harder and the game itself work harder, aka crashing you when it can't load certain details fast enough. So it will crash you, which there's a lot of places in the map that do this. There's places on the map that has nothing to do with the PS5's capabilities. It's just Ark in general. So turn this shit off. Turn high detail off. Alright, second thing. This VSync mode shit, turn that shit off. Turn that I know it's going to be, I think, adaptive for you guys. Just strip, turn it off. It's terrible. And if you actually look up VSync mode, so VSync stands for vertical synchronization. So it's basically saying that when you put it on adaptive, it's trying to not, when you turn left, right, it's trying not to cut things out because of the frame rate. You want to turn that off because you don't want the game itself, the servers, to do more work than it should have. You know, anything upon anything, any loading area, anything will fucking boot you off the online. You'll lose your shit. You'll lose it. Just turn this off, okay? And when you turn this off, you have this thing called tearing, which I've never seen. It's when you turn left and right. I guess there's this little detail you don't see. Just don't even worry about it. I've never experienced this in my entire life. Turn VSync off. That's number 2. So high detail, turn off VSync. After I turned both of these off, so I want to share a little story. So I got into a new server, right? And I didn't know that the new server reset my settings. So I was like literally blue screening, or aka white screening, on the PS5 all the fucking time. Anytime I would get near like was it like Jungle North or like Mid Jungle or any of the camps, it would boot me off. And I was like, whoa, what the fuck is going on? This never happens to me. And I went to myself, I was like, oh my fucking god, I had high detail and VSync mode on. I turned that shit off, and I have yet to white screen ever since, and it's been about 2 months. Okay? I don't know if this is going to help. This is maybe a third tip. I don't know. This is unconfirmed by me. Motion blur. Honestly, if you have this on to begin with, I mean, fucking props to you. But I just think motion blur is just too much. Just to turn that shit off. That's just my preference, because like, why would you have motion blur? You want to see what your left and rights. Other than that, everything should be, these are my exact settings. If you want to copy them, you know, there's maybe something more in the works that's benefiting for me not white screening all the time. So yeah, that's basically it. So, but the main thing, VSync turn off, high detail turn off. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching my video. Hope it helped. I hope it helps you in the game. If you blue screen, white screen, PS5, PS4, whatever, just drop it below after my settings. It'd be really nice to see if you still do it, where you do it, what map you do it in. Because most of the time I play on center. And center's been out for a very long time, so obviously the optimization that Wildcard did has been done to this map, and it's been a very good map ever since. But I've went on Ragnarok Island, Extinction, and I've yet to white screen, blue screen. But I don't have Genesis, so you know, Genesis 1 and 2, I have no idea. I played Aberration on the PS4. That was fucking terrible. Shout out to anyone who plays Aberration on like PS4, because every time I try to get rock tricks, I always blue screened all the time, and somehow I didn't die. Or just like up where the transmitters are. before you hit the rock drake dens and all that good stuff. Yeah, I mean, shout out to anyone who plays Aberration on PS4. Now on PS5, I've yet to get widescreen. I've yet to get widescreen, but that's just my experience with my settings. But yeah, whoever's listening right now, I know it's very, 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 very hard to get PS5, and I know a lot of you, I mean, maybe don't even have a job. You ask your parents to get a PS5, yada yada. You're kind of capped on that. If you're one of those type of people, or you just simply can't get it because obviously it's out everywhere. There's scummy ass people in this world that just want to resell it to you like little greedy gremlins that they are. And you're like, I'm not paying $800 for a fucking PS5, and that exactly. I mean, I got my PS5 from Best Buy. I got lucky for $500. I got very, very lucky. I think it was like a year ago in May. But if you're one of those people who have a PS4 and you have to deal with the blue screening all the time, and let's just say you do my settings and you're still getting blue screen or whatever, as usual, try to what is it called? Systems storage. That's not system storage. I forget what it's called. But basically, you put your PS4 in safe mode and you rebuild the database. Yeah, you rebuild the database. Always do that. That always helps. That really does always help my PS4. Also, clean your PS4. If your PS4 has fucking dust bunnies all over it, please clean that. That shit, like, obviously your PS4 is just gonna overheat and have problems in general. And also, you gotta realize that the PS4 SSD is not, its processor is not fast enough to deal with Ark. And Ark has shitty optimization that you need so much information to load in at once, or it crashes. So that's basically how this goes. It's just like you go into a certain area, and if your system cannot load in that certain information within a certain time, it crashes it. Because back in the day in the PCs, you had Windows and it froze. It froze your whole screen. You had to instantly reboot your whole PC and everything. This is the deal. They crash you to not freeze, because you would freeze, and it would not be good to unplug your PS4 from the back, cause issues with your PS4 and everything. That's why stuff crashes, because it cannot process it properly because of shit. Wildcard, Mr. Wildcard, don't give a fuck. Wildcard. They have shitty optimization on the newest maps, of course. So a lot of my complaints are from Gen 2 or Gen 1, or they're having it in Ragnarok, which still has some fucking issues, of course. Or the new map, I forget what it's called. I've went there quite a bit of times. It's Fjord or whatever it's called. But yeah. Yeah, shitty optimization. So, if I was you, if I had a PS4 and I did all the steps and I still blue screen, I would tell you right now to avoid the places that you blue screen. Let me explain. Because when I had a PS4, I would always, in the center, all the caves, not all the caves, the beaver cave, to go to the underworld, I always blue screen. So I always went to the middle one. I always went to the mid jungle one where it's a bunch of rivers and Spino spawn and all that, and you just basically go underwater and then flip upside down or whatever, and you fall from the ceiling. I went that way instead of going the way I blue screened. Also in the beginning of like mid jungle, kind of right where between Blue Ob and the jungle region of center, I would always blue screen. So I always avoid that shit. I always avoid that. Now in this lava cave, the first one, not talking about Pearl Cave. This cave, there right when you enter, to get to the drops. I'm trying to be very specific on a basic ass area, but anyways, I was always blue screen, so I always try to avoid that. So if I was on PS4, note where you blue screen, and just don't go to those areas. And if you're dealing with base issues, let's just say your base has like 50 gigas ready to breed and you're fucking lagging all the time, I think you need to put away some gigas, or whatever, because the tames and their movements and how they act and everything, it's all data that PS4 needs to process, and if it can't process it fast enough, it will crash you. Also, another tidbit: if you know you're gonna crash somewhere, put a hide sleeping bag somewhere, just in case you get killed by some level 25 raptor or some garbage, whatever. Always do that. I mean, if you really want to get really try hard, you could put a bat down with a heavy. If you want to carry a battery with a heavy with ammo, around you just to counter blue screening. I mean, you could. I mean, no one's. It's not nothing stopping anyone there. But yeah. Yeah, that's basically it, folks. Also, happy 400 subscribers. Never got to 400 before. Hopefully, we'll get the 1,000 someday. But you know, I mean, if I really tried to be like cringe and do what most YouTubers do, is basically clickbait the shit out of their videos, I probably could. But I like having fun doing what I like to do. That's all. I'm not. YouTube is not a job for me. It's a hobby, and I love doing what I do. I love uploading videos and my clips in Apex or Warzone or Fortnite or whatever the fuck I feel like posting. That's what I love about my channel. I just post whatever the fuck I want to, and I try to make it at least somewhat entertaining for myself and anyone who would like to view it. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Peace and millies.